Let's learn the Gavotte for viola by Giovanni Battista Martini. Martini was a Franciscan friar who, at the age of 19, became the chapel master of Bologna's Basilica San Francesco. He was a very well-known musician, and he mentored and taught musicians as esteemed as Mozart, Gluck and Johann Christian Bach. This particular piece comes from a sonata he wrote for organ. It's in a rondo form, which means that there's a verse and then an episode, and then the verse repeats itself after the episode. It's in C major for the viola, and I'm going to just play you the music first of all so you get an idea of how it sounds. 1, 2. So you can hear that it's a charming, elegant gavotte. Now, there are two aspects to this. It's quite complex for the bowing, and the notes are quite difficult because they're all within that C major scale, and then there's a little period where it goes into the minor key, so you have low Mr. Ones. So the first thing that I'm going to do is a little warm-up, and I'm going to just play a C major scale, but I'm going to use the bowing that I have at the start, which went up, up, down, up, up, down. So here we go. Let's play C major together with that bowing. 1, 2. So now we're going to just do the bowing in the ear. So I'm separating the difficulties, and I'm going to get used to this bowing. So you could play along with the recording that I made earlier and just do the bowing in the ear. Or you can just play along and I'll sing the notes. So it goes 1, 2. Here comes Rosie walking down the stairs. What will she have for her breakfast this morning? Here comes Rosie walking down the stairs. What will she have for her breakfast today? So we could then play that on an open string. So I'm going to choose the D string. So 1, 2. That's the first phrase. You might notice that the first two notes are an upbeat or an anacrusis to the third note. So it goes up, up, down, because the down bow is on the first beat of the bar, which is the main beat of the bar. So we try it once more. Ready, go. And then we get a phrase which goes, what will she have for her breakfast this morning? So it's whole bow for the crotchets and little bows for the quavers. So ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta. I'll play that on the D string. Ready, go. Now, once you can do that with the bow, we need to add the extra element of string crossing. So we're on the D string to start with, but we move to the A string. So it goes like this. D, 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 A, D, 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 A, D, G. So you can see some of those string crossings are quite fast and quite tricky, and we have to think through what we're doing. Let's just try that again. So 1, 2. Now, I call that bow-directed playing, and I can't emphasize enough how important it is to be able to do both hands separately with real confidence and fluency before you start to put it all together. The next thing we'll look at is the fingering. So we're going to look at the left hand now, and I'm going to play 2 bows on each note, and I'm just going to play them as bell tones. So it starts 1 on the D string. Here we go. Ready, go. Now low 2, 3, low 2 on the A, 1 on D, open, 1, low 2, 3, low 2 on the A, 1 on A, open A, 3 on D, low 2, 1, 1 again, open, 3 on G, 2, open. Now you might begin to see how important the C major scale is, especially the technique for playing that C major scale. On a descending C major scale, when we're coming down from low 2 on the A, 1, open, I get used to only putting 1 and 3 down on the next string, because this allows me to make a decision. Is it a low 2 or a high 2? And in this case, it's a low 2, so I put it close to the 1. Then back to 1. 1 and 3 go down on the G. And in this case, it's a high 2, which goes beside Mr. 3. So that technique's important, and then there's another technique that's important, which actually comes from a thing called an arpeggio. And I'm going to play you the arpeggio starting 3 on the G string. So I'm just only going to use Mr. 3 on the G, and I'm going to play Piccadilly Circus. Now I'm going to put Mr. 1 down on the D string. Ready, go. that Mr. 1 down, I'm not lifting it. I put Mr. 3 down on the stripe on the D string. Ready, go. While keeping the 1 down on the D string, I now put my 2 but close to it, but on the A string, and I roll the bow over. I then go back to 3 on the D string. And here's my 1, which has stayed down the whole time. And then 3 over on the G. Now you might notice at the very beginning of this piece, it went 1, low 2, 3, and then low 2 on the A. When I played that low 2, because it's on its own, I didn't move the first finger from the D string, and that gave me a guide as to where to put my low 2. So let's just play these notes again and think about keeping the 1 down on the D string and using it as an anchor or a guide for the other notes around it. So I'm going to play separate bows now for each note rather than 2 bows. Here we go. So 1, 2. So it's beginning to sound like the piece, but the rhythm's obviously not correct, so it's not absolutely identical yet. So now the next stage is to put the bowing and the fingers together. And I'm going to do that in little sections. Now this is very much what we call vertical practicing. So I'm looking at little parts and little parts and little parts. And you could call this the ABC method, because I'm going to call each part by a letter name. So this is letter A. 1, 2. This is letter B. 1, 2. This is letter C. 1, 2. This is letter D. This is letter E. And then the next task is to be able to put those together. So I might do A, B. Ready, go. And then I might do B, C. And then C, D. Ready, go. And then D, E. And then I do A, B, C. So gradually I'm building a more horizontal version of the piece. So the first part of it will sound like this. 1, 2. So we then look at the episode. Now the episode involves playing a low Mr. 1. So we're just going to do a quick practice of that. I'm going to play 1 in normal position, just an E on the D string. I'm going to leave that down and I'm going to put 3 down on the D string. Now I'm just going to move my 1 back and forward. To be able to do this, I need to free this side point of contact from the neck of the viola, and then I can just stretch my knuckle back and forward. So the shape of my hand doesn't change, and I try to ensure that by keeping the 3 down as I do that. Now if I move the 1 back and if I lift the 3 off, let's hear what that low 1 sounds like. So the notes in the episode, which starts in bar number, second half of bar 8, goes like this. Mr. 3 on the D string, low 2, low 1, open D, 3 on the G, high 2, 3, open G. Now if I do that with just single bows, so here's 3 on the D string, go. Low 2, low 1, open. 3 on the G with 1 down as well on the stride. The most important thing is that when you play that low 1, we don't want your wrist to collapse like this. We keep the same shape to the hand and we just extend the knuckles back. So we widen our bass joints like this, like a fan opening back the way. So if we look at that episode, it's going to sound like this. 1, 2. So the harmony changes quite a lot in the second half of that episode, and it's worth just playing those notes. So that is bar number 12, the second half of bar 12. It starts 3 on the D string, ready, go. Low 2, go. Low 1, go. Open D, go. 3 on its own on the G, ready, go. Put the 1 down and a low 2 on the A, ready, go. Open A, high 2 on D, 1 on the stripe on the D, go. Open D, 3 on the A, low 2 on the A, 1 on the stripe on the A, open A, 3 on the D, 4 on the D, 3 on D, high 2, and 3. Now there's one section there that has a nasty little bit of string crossing, and we're going to just look at it, but when I'm practicing I would be going to that section first thing every single time that I played this piece, and it's in bar 12. It goes like this with the notes. So it's going to go D, 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 G, A, D, D, D. Let's just try that. Ready? Go. D, 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 G, A, D, D. And it's an interesting string crossing because I'm going to use the momentum of the G string to get over to the A string. So I go up, down. So I'm already traveling over to the G as I play that A. It's a movement that's smooth, okay? Let's try it again. Ready, go. So that's a section that I'd be looking at an awful lot, and then I would add the fingers into it. Ready, go. 3, low 2, low 1, low 2, and I challenge myself to be able to play it perfectly 5 times in a row, with a consequence if I don't manage it. I don't watch TV for 10 minutes. Whatever that consequence is, you can choose. So I hope you enjoy playing this piece. It's actually a lot of fun and it's a beautiful piece. Its elegance and its charm is the real quality that I love about it.